What's up guys, Corey coming to you live from the TacToys HQ, and in this video we're going to do a how-to video on the SSG 69. Let's go. Alright, so first things first, you're going to see your goodie bag right here. It does have a few things in it, so let's just open it up and we'll list what we have. We've got our sight, we've got our bipod, we've got our safety glasses, we've got our sling, we've got these two grips which actually go on the side of the buttstock. You've got a small screwdriver, 1,000 gel ball packet, and also you've got the bag of bolts and nuts in there as well. Make sure that you do not lose this. Next up, you've got your buttstock right here. You'll realize that it is very, very heavy and nice quality as well. And in the final bag, you've got the actual blaster itself. So just pull that one out of the bubble wrap. So first things first, what we're going to be doing is attaching this to the back of the blaster right here. As you'll see at the rear here, you've got these two grooves. Grooves right here and then grooves right here as well. Obviously, the buttstock also has slots for those grooves. So all we're doing is simply sliding it into place, just like this. Next up, we're just grabbing the screw bag. We're opening this one up and tipping them all out. Now, for the buttstock, it may look like you need these two long ones, but you don't. These are actually for the sight. What you need is these two small ones for the rear here, so just grab those two, and then two nuts. These ones, you just keep those ones aside. So, once you've grabbed those two small screws, you're going to identify which one's longer and which one's shorter. Obviously, the longer one has the thread at least halfway down, whereas the shorter one only has thread about a quarter of the way down. Plus, the longer one is also longer. So, what you're doing is with the longer one, just inserting it in the top hole, just where the buttstock connects. So, push it in there. It's not actually threaded, so you are able to push it all the way through. Just grab your screwdriver and then push it through, just like that. And obviously, with the smaller one, all you're doing is pushing it through the bottom one as well. So lining that one up, grabbing the screwdriver and pushing that one through. Now, just flipping it over, and what you're going to be doing is grabbing the nuts and just inserting it there. So just push it onto that one. So once you have the nut in the first one, all you're doing is holding that one there and twisting it over this side. So obviously pushing and twisting at the same time. What it's going to do is actually grab onto that thread and then tighten it for you. So it's very, very easy. So just keep tightening as much as possible, but don't tighten it too much. And of course, the same deal with the bottom one as well. You just want to hold the top part and then screw it in. Just making sure that you do tighten it as tight as possible, but as I said before, not too tight that you thread anything. So once you've tightened them both, that's what it'll look like. And both sides, you'll see the screws are in here. And then the sides where the nuts go, obviously they're right there. As I said, just put your finger over it and then tighten the screw on the other side. And it simply does it by itself. And then the same as the top as well. So the next step, all we're doing is just grabbing these grips. It actually just covers this part to make it look a bit more natural. So all we're doing is just lining it up and pushing it on there, just like that. Same with the other side. Obviously, each side has its own side. So if it doesn't work, obviously just flip it over to the other side and it will work. So just push it on nice and firmly until it clicks in place, just like that. And she's good. Fundamentally, the blaster is actually already good to go. So you've just got your bolt here. This is your safety as well. So all you do is push up the bolt, cock it back like that. It is pretty firm, so make sure you do pull it back a bit hard. Push it forward, push it down, make sure that your safety is off, and then you can pull the trigger and she's functioning. But if you do want the other stuff on, just stay tuned and I'll put on the other stuff as well. Alright, so just putting on our sight now. What you have is this little part right here. You want to make sure that the little holes are actually facing the top, not the bottom. Because they do align with the two holes on the sight and also on the other side of the sight right there as well. So they're going to be sitting something like that on your blaster. So initially putting it on your blaster is what you want to do first, just to make sure you've got it all aligned. But what we're going to need is one of these, and then one of those as well. So all we're doing is feeding this one through this initially, so that it just looks like this. And then all you're doing is going to align your sight onto your blaster. So, of course, those holes need to be at the top. Set it how you want it into the position that you do want it when it's on your sight, on your blaster, sorry. And then you're just going to hold on to it. Now, when you first put it on, it may not, with this pin, it may not push through perfectly first time. So all we're going to be doing is trying to align it. One of these bumps may get in the way right here, but all we're trying to do, again, as I said, is just align it correctly. So all we're doing, you'll see there, it's been aligned correctly and it'll push through just like that. Now, we're going to do that a second time, but on this end as well. So make sure that you've got this, and again, this bad boy. Same as before, just feed that one through as best as possible, and then we're going to try and hold those there as tightly as we can. Now this part may be a little bit difficult, but all we're going to be doing is putting those little nuts just into those holes on the other side. You'll see that they do push in, and then all you're going to be doing, the same as we did for the buttstock as well, you're going to be holding this part, and then on this side you're going to be tightening it. So obviously right tight, left loose. So just keep tightening it until it does start to grab. Once it grabs, you're good to go. Your sight will be on nice and firm, and then we can move on to the bipod. As you'll see, you've got them just like it looked on here. Both of them nice and tight. Sight is on as well, and those two right there are good to go. Finally, your foldable bipod, you'll see here, if you push this one, the leg does come down. Same on this side, push that one, the leg come down as well. This one's actually very simple, so I probably won't go through it. All you're doing is loosening this screw on this side, and that's going to release this one. Again, all you're doing is pushing it on and then tightening the bolt so that it sits just like this. It's very, very simple. You want the legs to be folding forward, so when you push it, they fold up like this. And that's how you know it's on the correct way. So maybe you can just line it up like this, and then slide it on, put the bolt in, tighten the bolt, and she's good to go as well. Personally, I prefer not to have the bipod. Finally, if you're wondering where your magazine is, it's already in the blaster. That's your mag release. All you do is pull that one out. You open your mag door through the side here, tip in your gel balls, shut the mag door, and if you did want to prime it, you pull it back and down at the same time until the gel balls are popping out. Then you put the magazine back in, and she's good to go. That's it there. Safe is on. She's not going to work. So overall, the SSG 6.9 is an amazing blaster. Very, very, very solid, nice and heavy as well. If you do want the SSG 6.9, you can purchase it online or in store at any time. If you couldn't afford it in the past, now you can, as we do have the pay it later system. Get the blaster now, pay it off later. This is Corey from TacToys. Happy blasting.